l'Internet, là. C'est difficile, l'Internet. Piper, what are you talking about? Do you wanna know? Do you wanna know what we're talking about? We're talking about bingo. Because we're talking about car prices and how much is too expensive. So maybe the only way that you're gonna be able to afford the car you want is by winning the lottery. Maybe that's your only choice. Maybe you can't work your whole entire life, right? You need to win at bingo at the church on Sundays.
It was the only thing that was not regulated by the lottery bingo. That's what the church did.
Exactly, it's not regulated, right? It's not like these 50-50 lotteries and stuff like that at hockey games. Those ones, they need to be regulated. Church can make bingo without law, regulation, and everything like that. I don't know for here, but I know that we once did bingo live on one of my channels, and that did not last long. That got cut short, That happened. That super mega happened. Yeah, totally. Well, okay. I'm going to talk about what I do at nighttime. You want night routine? Piper's night routine. That's what we're going to talk about. Yeah, because, I need to warm you up to the subject. So we're talking about my night routine. Yeah. I mean, people have night routines, right? People have night routines. They have stuff they do before they go to bed. So sometimes you need to wash. Well, some people don't wash. I wash twice a day. So that's a weird thing about me. If you didn't know, I take 2 showers a day. I know, it's like, Piper, you have a problem with germs? No, I just like to be clean. Like every germophobic ever said. Don't worry, I double dip. I don't mind. It's just I like to wash myself twice a day. One in the morning, one in the night before I go to bed. That being said, what else do I do before I go to bed? Well, of course, you brush your teeth, you put all your face creams because you're a woman or a guy who likes to take care of their faces. And then, well, of course, I get into bed, watch a little bit of Reddit, and there's something I always do. I listen to audiobooks or podcasts. I don't really go to bed without anything in my ears, and that's probably why I like the podcast format, right? Green face mask. No, I don't do those. I don't do masks, actually. I don't. I've done it a few times. I just always forget, so I buy a bottle of mask product stuff and then I never use it. It's too time consuming to do a mask, so I just do the washing and then the face creams. That's more my style, if you must know. But that being said, I listen to a lot of audiobook podcasts or radio shows that are transformed into podcasts later on, and I was listening to one of the ones that I really like. It's called Terry O'Reilly, and it's called Under the Influence, but the name of the guy is Terry O'Reilly. He's from CBC, but he was a publicity advertiser, and he had his own publicity firm and all that, and he took clients and big clients in Canada. He's a big name in Canada doing all of these ads. So he decided to do a podcast about advertisement on CBC, which is a no ad type of, it's public radio here in Canada, and it's also called Radio Canada, but that's the French version. He did the English version because he's an Anglophone. And that being said, before I go to bed yesterday, I listened to one of his podcasts, and he talked about, you ready for this? Are you sure you're ready for this? I mean, this is I need to warm you up. This is what this is all about. He talked about millionaire tourism. Yeah, it's that thing. Those millionaire people and those billionaires out there, well, they don't just go to Club Med, They don't book all-inclusives in Cuba or Mexico. They need more. They need a lot more. So he did a whole podcast on that, and that's what gave me the idea for this podcast. Thanks, Terry. Call me. So it's called Car Prices. How much is too expensive? Yes, so we are going to talk about supercars. No, Siri.
Show them if you ask again from your iPhone.
Hey, Siri, stop. Not talking to her, but she loves my voice for some reason. Yeah, there's nothing to stop. So see, nothing to stop, Siri. Oh yeah! Welcome to While You Wait, the podcast that brings you electric vehicle entertainment and information while you wait for your electric car to refuel. Recharge at the charging station, or while you wait for your date to be ready or for your job to be over. Because we come in the podcast format, you can just put us in your ears and listen in anywhere, anytime. It doesn't matter, as long as you got AirPods or maybe a pair of headphones. Super easy. Now, that being said, Well, okay, we're gonna talk about some of the most expensive cars in the whole entire world, but I want to talk about the things that, you and I, common mortal people, do not have access to, and that's a lot of money. When I say money, I mean like a lot of money. What do you mean by a lot of money, Piper? Let me say it again. A lot of money. Like too much money. Like you cannot buy enough things with all the money in your bank account. There's still gonna be more money. That amount of money, like the 0.01% amount of money, people, not the 1%, like the 0.01%. So if you're there in the live comment section, thank you for being here at 12 p.m. from Monday to Friday to assist to this podcast in the live version, because it's always better when you're there and you actually comment. So we got Walter Johnson who's there. Hey Walter, thank you. Yes, of course we're gonna have a poll. We always have a poll. Cars are your second biggest expenditure. They're old in a few years. Oh, thank you very much, RP, for that. So I guess your second biggest expenditure. So if number one would be the home, and then number two, or home or rent. Yeah, because especially in America, like the car is a big symbol of like big things. Like I achieved something in life. I'm a good person and all these things. Then Carl is here. Hi, Carl. Also have Snoopy who says kit cars are affordable. Yeah, they're affordable, but they're not the real thing, right? It's just like. Yeah, and you need something to put the kit on, and it's just like, it's like painting your face. Like, it's like wearing makeup, So you got what you got, and then you put whatever you want on top of it, and then it can help or not, but in the end, that's what you got. Bingo was awesome. I missed that. Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, Bingo was cool. Bingo was really cool. Problem is, I don't think Bingo, like YouTube, liked Bingo for YouTube reasons. I mean, YouTube is so peculiar. And then Robin Petit says, I do not want to spend too much, hence the Aptera. So Robin Petit is purchasing an Aptera, and yeah, we know, right? Everybody on the podcast knows now. I mean, everybody knows. So the Aptera is this solar-powered vehicle that is not out yet, but that is supposed to be out soon. If you don't know, just Google Aptera or go to the podcast that we did on the whole entire subject. Okay. And then Chris Pankage said, should never exceed 30% of your weekly income for a car payment. I thought that was the house, right? That was supposed to be like 30%, but if it's a car too.
It's probably 30% after the house.
And 30% after the house. That would make a lot of sense. Because you still need to keep some money to eat, right? And for entertainment and activities. Good thing this podcast is free. All you need to do is pay for your internet, and then you're good. You can listen in whenever you want. So see, this is something that doesn't cost you nothing, and that can still entertain you. Oh, the small pleasures in life. We have also Douglas Downtless who says, only buy cars that appreciate in value. Oh, well, you need to wait, like, how long do you need to wait for a car to appreciate in value? There's, like at least 25 years, and you're gonna need to store it. So that's gonna cost you money. I mean, even though you appreciate, how can you, like, make it so that it's actually an investment? I think it's pretty hard. Even Chris Pankage says, need fuel, insurance, and depreciation on top of that. Exactly. Plus, if you're thinking long run, you're gonna need to store this car somewhere. You're gonna need to pay for a garage. I mean, okay, maybe that's already your mortgage, but... And you're going to need to sell it to somebody who's willing to pay that price.
Exactly.
Max Power, thanks for tuning in. Oh, yeah. So we're talking about the most expensive cars out there, and like how much are you really willing to pay for a car? Some people have some really great like mathematical skills and are saying 30% of your weekly income. Other people probably are just gonna say way too much, doesn't matter. But that's right, I want to talk to you about these like really rich people, since, well, we're not some of them.
And what about the kid that lives with their parents and don't pay the rent? Can they have a better car?
Of course they can.
Yeah.
Just like all the Indians here. Yeah. Just like all the Indians. They live like 20 people, all the family together in one house, and they all have super, super expensive cars. Because they're splitting off rent with like the 20 of them, and it's big houses, yes.
30%.
They put their 30% in their car instead of the house. Again, it's like money does not appear. You make what you make, and then you either put it in a car, you put it in a house, you put it in your girlfriend. I don't know. Maybe she's expensive. It doesn't matter. The thing is, there's so much money that you're making. You know how much you're making? Then if you spend it all, you make no more. And then if you don't spend it all, well, you become richer. It's kind of that easy, right? AKA Fumbler, hey, what's up? Snoopy says every home comes with the garage or barn here in America. Well, a home maybe, but I mean, you can have an apartment too, right? So apartments sometimes come with a parkade and places for that. Others don't. It really depends on the spot. And some homes, even like duplexes or things like that, don't necessarily come with parking spots. You need to park somewhere else. Some cities are weird. Yeah, some cities are really weird. I've seen things. I've seen things. Like in Gastown here in Vancouver, you will not get, there's not even a parkade in the building. There's no, it wasn't done like that. Especially historical places or really old places. Well, they're so old that they didn't build parkings back then because there wasn't no parking. You had horses. So why did you need to park your car?
I was wondering why.
Yeah, but that's why horses. That's why. It's horses. There's no cars. Okay. Chris Pankish says, this is a fight. Untrue, not every home comes with a vehicle shelter of any kind. I mean, even in Montreal, I know about Montreal, but even here, if you have some like a little house, you know, these like, it's not a tiny house, we're not talking like hashtag van life, but a small house, you would not necessarily, you would have like a place to maybe park, but not necessarily a shelter. Like that's why in Quebec, sometimes they put these really awful tents there for the winter time. Oh my God, that's so ugly. But again, it's removable, so in the summer it's not there.
Tempo.
Yeah, tempo. It's called a tempo. For some reason, it's not in tempo with any type of fashion out there. This is definitely not.
There are some cities that, forbid them.
Yeah, there are cities that forbid them because they're so ugly. Imagine that. So ugly, you're forbidden. This is bad.
They should do that for crack shoes.
They should do that for Croc shoes. Croc shoes are also, they're awful. They're idiots. I mean, sorry, Post Malone, but come on. These Croc shoes are really ugly. There's nothing sexy about Croc shoes.
Losing subscriber.
Oh, we're losing subscribers fast. Seriously, all my subscribers wear Croc shoes. What's the problem with you? I know it's antibacterial, but that's like the only thing good about Croc shoes. Coldmaker89 says, I wonder if Jay Leno has EVs in his car collection.
Oh yeah, he does.
He does, right? He has the EV1.
No,
not the...
He's got the first electric car.
He's got the first electric car?
One of the first.
Oh, one of the first electric cars. So we think that Jay Leno has one of the first electric car. Jay Leno, call us. And then the jet-propelled one he has was pretty interesting. I mean, yeah, probably a lot of people have, like, okay, Jay Leno has several EVs, including ones over 100 years old. 1901 electric car. Thank you, Snoopy, for adding that to the mix. I told you, while you wait for your electric car to charge, you listen to the podcast that's called While You Wait, and sometimes we don't just entertain you, we bring you real information. This is awesome.
We can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. He has a Tesla Model S, a Volt, and several other old ones. See? Oh, the Volt. Yeah, the Volt was a pretty cool car. The Volt was a great car. I mean, it's bad that they had to like discontinue it and all that, but it's a great car. Great car. So in this podcast that I listened to, yeah, before going to bed, if you were there since the beginning, and you're paying attention, well, it was talking about millionaires and what millionaires do, and billionaires too, and that they have these special people that they keep on their payroll. Like it costs them a few $100,000 per year to have these. Oh, my iPad just died. Okay, this is gonna be my code. I can't show that. Can't show that. Wait, I'm gonna put my thumb. I'm gonna put. Okay, I'm gonna put. Okay, it's good. It's good. It's okay. I'm back online. Okay, great. So these millionaires, what do they want? Okay, so if you have all the money in the world, let's call it like that, what else is left for you to buy? You know, you can buy any expensive car you want, EV, not EV, just like Jay Leno, he can buy any car. So he's gonna need a bit more, you know, he's gonna need maybe like some thrill-seeking adventures, life and death, you know, things like that. Things that are really like intense. You need the thrill. And so I've learned a whole bunch of things that billionaires do. Hi, if you're a billionaire listening to me, make sure you write a comment if you disagree with anything I'm saying. Did you know that at Disney World, there's a special club. It's called the Club 33. And that is invite only. And when you're in that club, and it says that Katy Perry's in that club and Tiger Woods too. I don't know which one of his mistress is in the club with him, but it's okay. I mean, it's a club, and well, all these in this club you have like special access to a special lounge, and you get like VIP to all of the special Disney, attractions, which is awesome. And you get like private mixologists and people who like do your drinks and fine dining and all of that. This is crazy. I had no idea Disney World had this. Then there's other things I learned. Like, okay, the billionaires, millionaires of this world, well, they want to do stuff that nobody else has done. So they like space exploration. Yeah, so some of them, they go to space, they come back. Some of them go on the space station. Did you know that you can actually literally go on the space station for 10 days? Yeah, Elon Musk offers that with SpaceX. You just go there for 10 days and then, well, you come back. I'm sure you need to sign a few waivers just in case, something happens to you.
More pages than the bungee one.
Probably a lot more pages than the bungee one. It also comes with a more expensive price tag, right? Definitely a lot more expensive price tag. Boycott Disney. Disney has gone off the woke cliff, ruined Star Wars. Well, okay. So Chris Pankage is like against any Disney thing that's been going on. Space tourism. They're even building a hotel in space. Yeah, they're doing that. There's a company that's doing that right now. I know, it's crazy. Imagine that. It's almost like we're close to the Fifth Element, right? Where there's like stuff happening in space. It's gonna be so cool.
Better that than Elysium.
Better that than Elysium, yeah. I would like to be Elysium, but I'm not rich enough for that, so I prefer not anything like that, right? They buy islands and build a super yacht. Yeah, they do that. They're the super rich, so super car, super yacht, super everything, super girlfriend, I don't know. This is like all the things that they do. Supercar Blondie, yeah, all of these guys, right? And then, well, okay, now that space is kind of like affordable, you can just go in space. Well, what they do, deep sea exploration. Yeah, we all heard about like, Ocean Gate. It did not last that long, but it's a thing. So since they all have super yachts, well, they can have, some type of submarine devices. So that's another type of thing. If you're a super millionaire, if you're a billionaire, then you can actually buy your very own like submarine. And then when you have guests over, you can be like, hey, you wanna dive? Imagine how crazy this is. Well, for me, it's a bit not in the question. I think I would rather go to space than go in the ocean. I get like a bit claustrophobic, and I feel like ocean is definitely not my space. Get it? Yeah, super funny. Okay, great. Okay, that being said, like, okay, Terry O'Reilly in his podcast that I was listening to before going to bed, because that's the type of stuff I do in the evenings, he was talking about all these crazy requests that these billionaires and millionaires, like top 0.01% of people had. And it was kind of fascinating. If I was one of these people, I would probably do that too. In all honesty, I'm pretty sure I would. So one couple wanted to have dinner on the Arc de Triomphe, the Arc of Triumph in Paris. So they literally built a kind of little box with a room there on the Arc de Triomphe that nobody could really see, so that they would be able to celebrate their anniversary there. And they opened a bottle of champagne of Krug that was the same age as their anniversary, that cost 20 grand. Imagine that. That's so crazy, right? But again, if you have the means, why not do it? And that's why we are talking about car prices and how much is too much. But I'm warming you up to the idea by talking about big billionaires. So you'll be able to spend a lot more money on your car after this podcast. You're gonna be like, 20 grand, that's nothing. So, Chris Pankage says, waste of money, too many people in need to just burn money when you have too much. Well, again, you're not rich, right? Not that rich, and I'm not that rich either. So who are we to judge? Like, what would you do with this money? You don't have this amount of money, so you don't know what you would do with it. And money does make people act a certain way, because that's just how humans are, right? If you can buy anything at any time, that must really change your whole concept. If money is no object anymore in your reality, when do you stop? I think it becomes really life and death. Like, you really want things to be so crazy because there's nothing else. Yeah, one is too much. And that's what we're talking about on While You Wait. While you wait for all this money to, I don't know, be dropping on your lap. For this sugar daddy to come to you. I have no idea. To win the lottery. Well, I'm here to entertain you with all my team, and we are here from Monday to Friday at 12 p.m. Yeah, Vancouver time on Two Girls, One Electric Car. So make sure that you tune in. Take a page out of Elon's book. I'd help humanity before blowing it on cars and crap. Okay, so you think that Elon Musk is doing the right thing by going to space and like trying to help with making electric vehicles, I guess, because not NATO, sorry. The UN just like released a little thing saying, hey guys, climate change is like not going great right now. We need to stop cars. We need to stop gas vehicles. We really need to stop right now. So I guess Elon Musk is like, wow, I invested in the right business. Because that guy was freaking out. The guy from the UN, he was freaking out. Goldmaker89 says Titan was the name of the sub that collapsed. It was Ocean Gate Ventures Expedition. Yeah, that's the name of like the company, right? Ocean Gate. And there was the Titan, maybe for Titanic, but it was not made out of titanium, and it imploded on itself. I think it's like 600 pounds of like pressure per like square inch. It's like crazy when you go that deep in the ocean. And so, well, really tragic story. But a seat to go on that, I think, was close to like $250,000. So you had to have a little bit of money to go there. Those with too much money often focus on social engineering.
It's too much.
But yeah, what is too much? We want our price tag. 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 Tell us. So there's even a family that rented the Chapel 16th. Yeah, you're like, Piper, you can rent that. Maybe you can't, but somebody can. Somebody can. It cost them $75,000, and that's without the fee that they pay for like this yearly fee they pay to this company that makes sure that whenever you want something, you get it. Yeah, so that's on top of that. $75,000. You decide. If you have the cash, I mean, why not? Why not? Some of these things might not...
Per person?
I think that, no, it was just for the key to go check it out. So you can bring maybe as many people as you want. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. $75,000. So how much is too much money? Tell us in the live comment section. We'll do a poll a bit later on like thresholds for cars, but that's gonna happen. So you better stay right there. Stay there. Stay right there. So yes, when you can just write a blank check to somebody and tell them, get me what I want, like, your perception of the reality of the world might be so different than the one that we have. I mean, by we, I mean mass population. I mean, like, most people. And I know psychologists don't like that, but we're talking normal people, normies. Like the people that have jobs and that work to make a living. Not necessarily paycheck to paycheck, but you know, you still need to count your money. You have that in mind all the time. These people don't. Well, in a very different way. I'm not saying that they mind losing $1 million. Of course they mind losing $1 million. But maybe they just want to invest in things that make them feel happy. And if everybody had like that amount of money, what would the world be like? Sparta! I don't know. Maybe something like that. It would be crazy, right? Like crazy. Literally crazy. We don't know. But that being said, I've met a millionaire. Yeah. Not like that in the movie. Not like that. but not with Demi Moore, okay? Not that type of movie. But I kind of became friends with a millionaire. I was introduced to him by my master and all that, and he was like a crazy guy. I don't think you can be a millionaire if you're like a normal person. It's not possible. Does money change you? Are you already like that? No idea. But the point is, this guy told me something very interesting, and that is what I will repeat to you right now. He said, I've never seen a rich person go from point A to point B in a lemon. End of quote.
Replace lemon with Yaris.
Yeah, so like a Yaris, or like you replace lemon with a cheap car. So a car that is less expensive than most cars. So he was a millionaire, and he said, yeah, if I've never seen any of my millionaire friends or people who became rich, let's call it like that. And again, rich is conceptually, we're gonna say over a few $1 million, right? So he's never seen anybody with that amount of money driving a Tercel or a Yaris. They just don't. Why? Because why would they? they have enough money to show it off, to like drive something that has more, right, to it than just that. So, what are rich people looking for in cars? Yeah, what are they looking for in cars? If car prices, how much is too much? Definitely AC. I think a rich person was AC, right? They want AC. Yeah, they want for the car to go fast. Why? Because I think like there's not many more thrills in life for them. They have all the money, they can buy anything, so they want thrill, they want adventure, they want extreme stuff. So Bezos drives a Honda.
Not so true.
This is how many other cars does he have, and does he?
Private jet.
How many private jets did he take?
Not true.
Yeah, this is like this.
He's not a chauffeur, like.
He is a chauffeur. I mean, this is like saying like Warren Buffett, yeah, always drives his old car. Yes. No, it's not true. It's a fake logic. It's for us people to feel better. Like the poor people or like the medium class people to be like, oh yeah, they become rich, but they still drive their Honda. Yeah, in Silicon Valley there was Yaris. Of course there was. Some people make choices. But in general, you don't do that. Yeah, Prius. Sorry, Prius. Yeah, that like hybrid car. So seriously, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. I mean, this guy has private jets. This guy like does private jet. This is not a thing. It's not a thing. I don't believe in it. He's got planes. He's got freaking Rivian. He's a half owner of Rivian, right? This is no. This is no. This is no. Warren Buffett continues to drive a 2014 Cadillac. Again, how many other cars does he have?
It's not even true.
And how many jets does he drive? Well, I'm not sure. I think okay. I think their PR agents are really good.
Yeah.
Their PR, they got PR agents. They got nannies. You know the nannies of these kids. You know they go to a special nanny school. And these nannies know kung fu. It's not true. They know taekwondo, but still they know like martial arts. If you're really one of these rich people and your kid could get stolen from you because people they want your money, well, you hire a nanny that can actually evade a car chase. Like these nannies are trained for that. Imagine that. So this is the thing that these ultra rich people have: special nannies that go to a special school. You know how much it costs to go to that school? $26,000 per year. But then you're sure you're gonna find a job as a nanny, and you can make as much as $200,000 a year because you're James Bond nanny. You're James Bond nanny. Okay, so what else we got in the live comment section? My most standards family is wealthy, and I can attest they are not happier with their extravagant toys. Again, yes, happiness is not... Money buys some security. We're not gonna lie. If you don't have money security or food security or things like that, it makes your life more stressful. There is a threshold where you get that security and you get a bit more happy. But then if you didn't find yourself or what you like to do in life, of course, happiness it comes and it goes, right? You don't obtain a certain level and then you become happy. That's not how it is. You're happy, you're sad. This is life, right? And then Snoopy says, Warren Buffett beat me out of shares in Restaurant Brands International I was buying on the ground floor. And where's your money? I don't understand this. So you're saying that Warren Buffett took your shares?
He beat you up.
He beat you off? Like that way? I don't know. I don't understand. The nanny probably drives a Range Rover. Yes, so these nannies, they are actually trained on very expensive cars. They are. They know, yeah, 007 nanny. They know how to drift.
They can escape paparazzi.
Yeah, they can escape paparazzi too. They know, and they can teach your kid. Like they're specialized in early childhood education. Yeah, this is crazy. That sounds like a movie. Super Nanny knows martial arts. That's from EDM. Seriously, Google it. I don't remember the name of that school. I think it's in the UK. And it takes 4 years to complete the course. It was mostly women before, but now they're accepting men too. And yeah, I think Kate Middleton and Prince Harry, they hire one of these special nannies for their kids. So this is the thing. I'm not joking. I listen to this podcast and I trust Terry O'Reilly because he's an ad guy and he's really good at he's got search team, which I don't. So I'm just going off of what he says. But I definitely it sounds crazy, and I heard that before actually, that there was a special school for nannies out there. He bought up shares I was trying to buy. Well, then good for you. At least, like, you may be good at buying shares. I mean, if you buy the ones that the guy buys and he's like ultra rich, maybe you're good at that. I have no idea. I'm not really into investing and all that stuff. DP says money buys freedom, not happiness. That's a good point. I like this one. This makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it buys freedom. So rich people. Yes.
Level of FU.
Oh yeah, the F level.
Yeah,
The F level in that movie, the level of FU. So what do you want to be able to say to me? FU. And that's a thing. You want to have enough money to have your own house, pay your own taxes, and be
Boss to F.
tell your boss F you. If you don't want to work, you don't work. You don't need to. And that's the thing. You don't need to get to the level where you don't need to. You want to, which is completely different. And I know we're going all philosophy here, but that's the thing. Car prices. How much is too expensive for a car? We'll get to car price tags in a second, so you stay right there. Buckle up. This is while you wait for your electric vehicle to charge or for your bank account to get the money because the bank made a mistake. This works too. I believe that rich people want, and if you're rich people, please do call me, want fast cars. They want unique cars. Yeah, you need something special, right? Because you don't just want the same car as everybody else. You want to be out of the mass. You're rich, so you're already somebody that is different in that way. So you're gonna want something that goes fast, something that is unique, and then probably something that is a virgin, something that's completely new, right? I know, I thought about this longly. You're not gonna wanna buy a used car. You're gonna want something untouched. And that's the thing, when I saw this video on YouTube, when you buy a Porsche 911 with all the specs and you decide it's still wrapped. You get it and it's wrapped. You need to unwrap it. And you need to take off like the plastic and all that. Go Google it. It's a thing. So you literally need to unwrap this. It's okay. I just touched this and then it's doing weird stuff. No problem. There's other cars there. It's okay. It's cars. We're fine. We're dealing with cars, so it's cars. So the thing is, I think that having something new that is completely untouched, that comes in wrapped, the only people that have touched it have painted it or made it nice, and then you unwrap it, like a gift at Christmas. I mean, rich people have like people needs. They're still human to an extent, I believe. I've never been with people that were like that rich, not to my notice. I mean, I've dealt with a few millionaires, like a few millions, but never billionaires. I've never been in the same room as a billionaire, or not to my knowledge. They were incognito mode, maybe. So if money is no object, what car would you buy? And I know it's really hard to kind of, put yourself out of that type of thing. But which car would you buy? I mean, some people have literally thought about that. We made a podcast on the myth of the perfect car. And that's kind of to go with this, but in a more philosophical way. What car would you buy if money was no object? Would you buy one of the most expensive cars in the whole entire world just to go so you could say, I got the most expensive car in the whole entire world? Piper, have you got some cars for us? Yeah, I do. I got some pictures and I got some real cars that are the most expensive cars in the world from that article I found on the internet. So if you need to input things or output things, no problem, we're gonna get there. Now, Chris Pankage says no one needs a car over $50,000. Well, my Model X is actually like way more expensive than that. But I needed doors that open like Falcon doors and not like regular doors. I needed those doors. And you can't get those doors for less money. I mean, unless you buy a used one. Like, unless that. But if not, no. Snoopy says there is $1 million car for sale somewhere. Of course there is. There's more than 1 million. We're gonna get there. I've got. You're gonna be traumatized by what you're gonna see. Chris Pankage says the average wage in the U.S. is $59,000. If you make $60K and you're driving a $60K car, you made a poor financial choice. Yes, you did. But at the same time, that is the problem with humans. We are directed by our emotions, and not just a freaking spreadsheet. I wish I had this like intellectual property of being like, oh, driven by only Excel sheets. But at the same time, you need to take risks, right? And sometimes risks on paper don't look good. But I've started so many companies, I've started so many projects that I've invested a lot of money in. We're talking thousands of dollars. And a company always pays out more than the money you could have in the bank, right? Because you can go from $0 to making like a profit of $1,000. That's like a 1,000% profit, right? Something like that. So that's the thing. Something paper doesn't look good, but that doesn't mean it's not good. As humans, we need to do a little bit of both. Maybe with AIs, it's going to be a whole different world, and the AI is going to like choose everything, mother, for us, and we'll be quite directed differently. And then maybe we shouldn't allow for these people to buy these cars, but we're going to talk about that too in a few minutes. So stay right there. EDM says, good quote about rich people. When the chess game is over, the king and the pawn go back in the same box. Okay. That's deep, right? That is so deep I don't understand. I mean, so you mean like, yeah, okay, so the king always goes back to the castle and like the pawn to the pawn place. Yeah, this makes sense. Well, so they all play the game. I mean, did they all go back in the ground? But again, when you die, you die, you know? Yeah, we all go back to the ground, whatever. But the point is not the death. The point is not the getting to die. The point is living. And what you do while you live. I'm trying to get richer, not gonna lie. This is why, hey, you can support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/2girlsoneelectric-car. Everybody's trying to make a living. Everybody's hustling in their own way. I want to have more money to be able to create more art, whatever that art is, into podcast version, video format, doing things that I want to do in life. And I think that's just, when you find what you love, you need more money to do it. That is the point. Money is here to stay for now. So yeah, let's try to make as much money as we can, people. Yeah. Why not? Yeah, you're not gonna die without the Falcon doors, sweetheart. I will not die without them, but I wanted them and I pay for them. I mean, that's the thing. You have these possibilities, these opportunities. Of course, if, let's say, the bank said no, or if, like, literally people with my wage could not purchase these cars, if they made it illegal, then it would be a completely different thing. But people can put things on their credit cards nowadays, especially in North America, like USA, Canada. So that makes it a bit weird, like how much money you really have and how rich you really are. Because you have access to all this money that's not money, all this credit, these loans and things like that, which makes it a bit confusing at times. Because for me, being rich is just like that book I read, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And when he said, how long can you survive without new money? Like dead money. How much dead money do you have? That's me. I call it dead money, but nobody calls it that. Just write that on my tombstone. It's really good. I mean, dead money would be the money that's like, it's in your bank account right now. It's money you have, or things you can sell. Like I could sell this Rodecaster Pro 2 and make a few bucks out of it. So when you take all that money and you take your rent, your expenses, your food, I don't know, your utility bills, all of that, can you survive, and how long can you survive for? If it's a year, well, you're rich for a year. So it's not being rich, it's just how long can you survive with that amount of money if you lose everything? Like if you can't make new money right here, right now. I like this way of explaining rich. And I think these people, like the ultra rich, the millionaires, not all of them can survive a year, actually. Like, not all millionaires can survive a year. Their costs, like, their expenditures are so high that they would need to downgrade to be able to survive for long. They could take their millions and, yes, go into a small apartment and rent a small studio to operate their business. And, I don't know, cut on some personnel for their business and things like that. And they would still be okay. But that's really the thing, right? Dead money equals expense. Well, dead money for me is just the money that's kind of, you know, it's there. It's already there. Hard cold cash. Let's call it like that. Debt to income ratio. Yeah, like where we're going. Potential spending. Okay, so that being said, these rich people, well, they're a bit different in that way, right? So let's talk about us, and let's talk about car prices and how much is too expensive for you. So world's most expensive cars. Okay, I just need to like...
Is this a such thing? Okay.
I need to do a little thing here because this is all broken. How does that work? I don't know how this works. Oh, like this. No. Yeah, like this. Then if I close it, no. Yeah, okay, I go here. Okay, I go here. And then I need to go down. Okay, give me a second. I'm playing with the iPad. I'm playing with the iPad. Okay. So the most expensive car, according to this website, motor1.com. I don't know. I don't know if it's legit. but motor1.com says that the most expensive car right now in 2024 March, it says, is the Rolls-Royce La Rose Noire. La Rose Noire, pardon. It's so French. The drop tail. So you can see this car. I put it there on the screen somewhere. It's gonna appear.
There it is.
So this car is approximately $30 million. It's an estimate.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? An estimate.
AC? Does this AC?
Does it have AC? I guess it's a Rolls-Royce, so it must have AC. I mean, so it says that the boat tail. It's a boat tail, so Rolls-Royce has a few type of models and all that. So La Rose Noire would be the black rose. That's the exact English translation for that French name. And then drop tail, that's just the model of the car. It's the model of Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce has they have many cars, so the drop tail is, you can see it. So it's kind of a two-seater and then it goes down. It's like its ass is kind of chopped, right? And then what they're saying about the La Rose Noire is that it's just so unique. And so the interior, lustrous exterior color called True Love. So Rolls-Royce does that sometimes because they do bespoke. That's how they call it. So bespoke would be their own personalization of the car. Bespoke is like tailor-made. But that's how Rolls-Royce says tailor-made. They say
client wants something to
yeah, they do it. Client wants something, they do it. It's called bespoke. So you can bespoke your Rolls-Royce, meaning that most of these expensive Rolls-Royces that we're gonna see here, because Rolls-Royce seems to be like in the top expensive cars out there, well, they're kind of bespoke. So they're special orders that one person wanted and they just made the car from scratch for that person or them or they, I don't know. Bespoke equal custom. Yeah, but that's just what they say. You can call it many other things. EDM says, looks like a lowered Toyota Camry. Yeah, not the same price tag, right? Yeah, if the Toyota Camry does it for you, then please take the Toyota Camry. It's gonna cost you a lot less. So estimated $30 million. And then, is that too much for you?
No, okay, what does... Okay, because half a million you got a roll.
Yeah, $500,000 you got a Rolls Royce.
What do you...
Yeah, how'd you build it up to $30 million?
Oh, what else?
Yeah, it doesn't really say. That's a problem. Like, it doesn't really say.
Because you want the door to go like this and like this.
Maybe it just says like estimate price, special model.
Wow.
Like, I don't know. And then if we go, okay, so let's scroll again. Let's scroll more. I know if you're like, wow, that was expensive. There's more. So, the Rolls-Royce boat tail. That one, I saw an ad for it. It's really good ad. It's a good ad. So, the thing is, this one is $28 million. And again, it's an estimation from this site. The boat tail, though, is pretty interesting. You can go picnic. Yeah. What do you mean, Piper? You can go picnic. So there's a little champagne cooler. There's actually seats. So when it opens, there's seats, there's cutlery, and there's an umbrella, or like a sun umbrella, for you to be able to go picnic. So this is the ideal picnic car. So if ever like you really love picnicking, like $28 million picnic is accessible for you. Now, okay, because they only made 3 models. Well, again, that one makes a lot of sense that the rarer the car, or the more tailor-made it is, or the more like special custom offer it is, the more, right, the more crazy the price tag. I mean, if you had people make this car for you, you say, Rolls-Royce, make me this car. Here's a blank check. Just make me this car. I mean, of course they're going to go crazy. Any artist with a blank check would go crazy. I don't even know what I would do with a blank check. A lot more of what I'm doing right now, just with a lot more budget, right? Diamond encrusted interior. That's what Douglas Downless says. So you need to pay for the blood diamonds.
Okay, but beside the diamond. Beside gold and diamond.
Well, okay, so there's the car, right? There's the car. So you need to do the car. So you need engineers, you need special people. But how far can engineering go? Like, how far can engineering go? Then after that, it's really bedazzle. You're really just adding like special artists' names and
In my opinion,
Yes.
my ride did cool car.
yeah, Pimp My Ride did cool cars.
These and all that. It
Yeah.
didn't cost 30 million.
No, Pimp My Ride did not. So you would hire the guys for Pimp My Ride?
Exactly.
Yeah, with the money. Yeah. Again, it depends on what type of person you are, I feel. I'm pretty sure some people do that. Cars are supposed to be a tool to get you from A to B to make money. They were never invented to be a status symbol. Ask Henry Ford. Which one? There's so many Henry Ford now. There's like 1, 2, 3. But the thing is, yes, they might have been invented for that, but that's not what they are anymore. Then now they are a symbol of status. They are. It's a fact of life. You're against it, be mad. But it's still gonna be like that. It still is like that, especially in Canada and the United States of America. Come on, guys. Like literally, United States of America is the land of vehicles. You guys invented the status for cars. Like, and I'm Canadian, so I'm saying this with all
We
appreciation.
don't have Canadian cars.
We don't really have Canadian cars.
Canadian cars.
We almost had Canadian cars.
It was like a super sport car.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it was a super sports car that was invented in Quebec, but yeah, that not.
They made 50.
They made like 50, right?
Something like
That did not happen. That did not happen. So now it's rare and it's a collectible, but
Jay Leno's got one.
maybe Jay Leno has one. It was really particular. Yeah, Jay Leno. Do you have the Quebecois car? Okay, so let's go to the other one. So now we're dropping in price a lot. If you want a Bugatti, way cheaper. Just like way cheaper. We went from 38,000 to 13.4 million. Like it's just super easy. Bugatti, la voiture noire. So there seems to be like you know French words. They're just using French to make it sexier because French is the language of love. Hey, Bacardi Bob, thanks for tuning in. That being said, I'm going to translate what la voiture noire means. So this Bugatti is $13.4 million. It means the black car. See, it sounds really good in English, right? It literally means the black car. La voiture noire. Yeah. So if you want the black car, it's...
Also, maybe it sounds better.
But of course it sounds better in French. La voiture noire.
Black car.
The black car.
Is it a Panther car?
Maybe it's a Panther car.
It's la voiture noire.
La voiture noire. I mean, you know, you use any accent you want. I'm francophone, but from Canada, Quebec, so I have like this thick Quebecois accent, which is not French at all, like from the French. So you decide. This baby, though, 1,479 horsepower. That's a lot of horses. That's a lot. That's a lot of horses. But I think you can buy 1,479 horses for $13 million, no problem. And they can they can carry you whenever you want, wherever you want. But they might not be as fast. Like just putting it out there. So Bugatti is definitely in the race with Rolls-Royce. And this baby has like a whole bunch of stuff like bespoke fascia, gigantic light up badge. I hope it lights up so you can see it, but sometimes it's black, so I don't know. And it says it's a modern interpretation of Jean Bugatti's personal Type 57 SC Atlantic. The la voiture noire. They don't need to put the. La voiture noire is already the, but it's okay. Yeah.
La voiture noire.
De la voiture noire. They said de la. There's a bit. Somebody French needs to do something with this. I'm gonna be like the French people. I'm gonna. Yeah.
The French police.
Yeah, I'm the French police. Okay, now there's a lot more Rolls Royce. So I'm just gonna scroll over. You can see there's more Rolls Royces, which are awesome. But I mean, since we've already talked about Rolls Royces, let's just go to the next best thing. Another Bugatti. So this Bugatti, Rolls Royce, they're like on top of the most expensive cars, right? So we're going back. Oh, what's this? Mercedes Maybach. Excel. Yeah, that's a Mercedes. It doesn't really look like a Mercedes, right?
But it's a Maybach.
It's a Maybach. So Maybachs are like the more luxurious Mercedes. Just so you know. Yeah. That being said, this one is $8 million, which is like a lot less expensive than all the other ones. Again, not everybody has $8 million, right? But this one has a twin turbo V12 engine. It produces a little bit less horsepower though than your Bugatti for like almost half of it, which is not as good. But there's 752 feet of torque. So I guess like it's pretty torquey. It's pretty torquey. You can like this is good, right? I mean, in that way. If you want that, if that's what like rocks your boat, floats your, not layback, Maybach. You know, just like in that song. Like this, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of songs with the Maybach, like Mercedes, blah blah blah. So then for other cars, of course, more the Pagani, which I had no idea existed, but that's supposed to bring you back $7 million. And then if we scroll again, Pagani again, and then what's this? Another Bugatti, and then another Bugatti, and then a Pininfarina for some reason. That's another one. Then a Bugatti. So these are like really, really expensive cars, right? We're talking like millions of dollars. But we're also talking bespoke. We're also talking you make your own car. So you decide like the color, the interior. You decide which artist you want to work on the car. You could literally have anybody working on that car that you wanted. Because you just kind of write a blank check. You want Tim Cook to work on the car? Maybe he's going to do it. I mean, you want Elon Musk to work on the car? Maybe he's going to do it. That's how much things money can buy you. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. So what about us normal people? Yeah, all of us normies. What is too expensive for you? Let's do a little poll. Yeah, now's the time for the poll. I told you there would be a poll. So what's too,
There's always a pool.
bam, expensive for you? And since we're all pretty normal, right? I'm not gonna put millions of dollars, because come on, we're talking about what is too expensive for you to go buy right now. We're not talking about if you have all the money in the world or you had all the money in the world. So let's go from 0 to, let's say, what, 15,000? 0 to 15?
0, 20,
0 to 20.
20 to 35,
Okay, so bam, let's go 20 to 35.
35 to 55,
20 to, wait a second, to 30 to 35
yeah,
at option, then 35
to 45, 45 over,
to 45. I think this is good numbers. Yeah. And then 45 over. So give me a moment, we will get and over. Okay, let's go. Start poll. The poll has been started, people. So because people like us, like regular people, I guess. I mean, I don't know how much money you're making. This is okay. It doesn't really matter. I know how much debt you're in, so it doesn't like. There's more than one variable. But most people will need to either pay their car in cash, which is a reality that some people do. Other people, well, they need to take a loan, right? Some of them is because they want to keep some liquidity. Others is just because they cannot afford. they can't afford. You can't afford that expense all at once, but maybe you can't even afford it. Maybe you're putting like half of your salary on that car payment. Maybe you can. Maybe you're living with your parents, whatever the situation. Maybe it's more possible for you than it would be for other people. But in that sense, I mean, it's true that you can ask for a loan, and then they can refuse the loan. That's to the right of the banks or the loaners to be able to tell you, no, we will not accept this loan offer. And then, well, you can go to like some special sharks, you know, and they're just going to charge you more interest, right? So the more steep the loan, usually the more interest rate you will be charged on. So you're literally paying a lot more for that same vehicle because you're thinking about that loan. Then, of course, some people will choose to lease. That's a different thing. Some people choose to lease just because the security and safety of it. I mean, you stay on the warranty. If something happens, you just bring it back to the dealer. It can be more expensive than buying it, but at the same time, it brings you a different type of security. And like after the lease is done, you can just switch cars. So you also maybe stay with a newer car. But that also means that there's some types of things that you can't do with a car. Like you can't really modify the car if you're leasing it. There's a certain amount of kilometers you need to stay within or else you pay extra. So all these little things need to be considered. So people, like normal people, need to take that into consideration when purchasing, yes, their car. And they need to think about, yeah, that price point. How much are you willing to pay? How much is too expensive? Then if you really want to buy a luxury car, if you really want to go over that $45,000, let's say, that we put in the poll. Well, there are certain ways for you to go at it, right? Like I said, I purchased my Model X, but I purchased it used because I did not necessarily have or want to put the $100,000 it would cost me to buy a newer Model X. So mine cost almost half of that by costing me approximately $73,000, which is still a lot of money. I mean, I do good for myself. Not saying that it depends on the people, right? And I had a project, so I wanted to kind of, get back into my money with that project, so use it for something. Plus, right now, I'm using it for 2 girls, 1 electric car, right? We've all seen that. So that being said, well, you can buy something used that is luxurious, but I don't think like most rich people, and we're talking ultra rich, right? We're talking ultra rich, will want to buy a used Bugatti. Like for $2 million.
There's a channel,
I mean,
there's a channel that guys
Yeah.
like the worst car to buy, but it's the most like high-end one.
okay, the worst car, but the most high-end.
A Maserati for 20 grand.
Of course, you could have a Maserati for 20 grand. But of course, they have problems. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I always say that. You can always get what you want. But, I mean, yeah, do you get what you need? Like the song, right? Like the song. So the thing is, I want a Rolls Royce. I really want one, but I chose to buy the Tesla Model X. I could have gotten a Rolls Royce for the same price. It would have been used too. It would have been cool, but I chose something different that has more technology in it, that is more luxurious in that way, in the technological way. I mean, and I did not want to put gas in my car because that was just too expensive for me, not just in money, but in time consuming chore type of thing. Chris Pankage says, my dad vet was over 100K and it sits in storage because you live in the frozen tundra of Cleveland, Ontario. Again, you do whatever you want with your money. It's your money. I can't tell you what to do. The Tesla Roadster Founders Edition will be on another level. Well, definitely. I mean, it's a thing. A Cybertruck on order, lol. Who knows when it will come? Yeah, I ordered one too. I put $150. Canadian dollars on that thing, but it's not yet coming in Canada. I mean, some people are saying that they're gonna kill their projects, but I think that's just conspiracy, quite frankly. Rolls Royce would probably be in the garage more than any other car. Why? Because you want to keep it? Because like I thought about buying a Rolls. I mean, I thought about buying many different type of cars, but once you go electric, I feel it's very hard to go elsewhere unless you have multiple cars. Like if you're Jay Leno, or if you have a 12-door garage, then you can buy, like, I guess electric is really awesome for anything you need to do that is like in the city and stuff like that, and like normal things of humans, right? So you want to do like normal human things, meaning when you actually are doing grocery, when you need to go to the Home Depot. I love my Tesla Model X for that, plus the SUV, so it has a lot of space. It's amazing. You invite friends over, there's enough place for adults in there, and well, kids, but I hate kids, so I'm not going there. But still this is really interesting. Then the other good point about having this like price point is that you need to choose about maintenance and all these other things, right? That will cost you in the long term. So not only your loan, not only the price of the car, and we did a whole other podcast on that, on maintenance cost. So you better go check that one out. Let's go see the poll. Ooh, a lot of rich people in our, a lot of rich people. So here we have 21% of people are saying, what's too expensive for you? From $0 to $20,000, we got 21% of people that say that's already too expensive for them. Interesting. Then from 20 to 35, we got 7% of people that say that's too expensive for them. Again, if it's too expensive, that means you want something lower, right? You want to pay less than that. Again, the 0 to 20,000, that's a big gap. And then we put it like that so that we know that maybe 20,000 for you is too much, but 10,000 would be okay. And some people, literally, I bought cars for $1,000. I mean, it probably won't be new, but still, you can buy a car for $500. Again, I don't know what type of car you're gonna get, but everything is possible. And then 21% of people, so we have like a bit of a tie between $0 to $20,000 and $35,000 to $45,000. We have 21%. I feel like a lot of the cars that I bought were in that $35,000 to $45,000 percent. If you're an adult in your 30s, 40s maybe, like you haven't hit that, okay, like that 40s type of crazy thing going on. You have maybe a family, maybe not, whatever. You have like a stable job. I feel like $35,000 to $45,000 is a good price point. You'll get something pretty nice, pretty luxurious in that way, sporty or whatever, without necessarily costing you too much. And you'll get the technology. Like, you'll get the newest technology for that price point. And then if you go over $45,000, like Chris Pankage says, if minimum wage is $59,000 in the United States of America, then $45,000 is definitely over a lot of people's budget. So that would be splurging. And you're not even getting a luxury car for that price. I mean, you're just getting a more expensive car. I think in Canada, over like something like $45,000 when I was back in Quebec, these cars have a premium on them. So you need to pay a premium insurance because they're classified as luxury cars. They're not even millions of dollars, but just over this kind of $45,000 cap, it becomes a luxury vehicle. So your insurance your insurance goes higher. So you need to put that in mind. And putting a Mercedes in the garage does cost more. Like putting your Range Rover in the garage costs you more. It's true. It's true. These cars might like last you longer and be better in technology and better just in engineering, but they will cost more to maintain in general. But again, they'll last longer, so you decide. DP says the least expensive car in the US market is around $18,000. See, that makes a lot of sense. So there is price point for everybody. Here in Canada, you can get something for $15,000 that is okay, like new, good.
Remember before pandemic when we bought the Volt?
Yes.
The Chevy was 10 grand.
Exactly. Yeah, before we bought the Volt, the Chevy, so that's before the pandemic, there was a little Chevy, like a little Chevy. I think it's the Chevy Spark. It's like super small, and that car was $10,000. You don't get radio, you don't get AC, like you get nothing, but still you can buy a new car on payment for $10,000 with Canadian. So that's a lot less than that. Must be like close to 7,000 in USD. Usually we got a 30% type of difference there. So that's it. Thank you for tuning in, people. Thank you for telling us what is too expensive for you. Make sure that you're here from Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. Vancouver time. Yes, West Coast, baby, of Canada, with me, Piper, on the podcast while you wait. Because while you wait to get more money to, do that job that you're doing right now, make sure that you tune in. It's super easy. The podcast playlist is there on YouTube. It stays there. It's completely free. So you can get it, share it, paste it, do whatever you want with it. But oh yeah, please make sure you share it because that really helps us grow the channel, and it makes it so that YouTube pushes us a little bit more because we're still trying to get monetized. All right, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. Ooh. Definitely don't have the money to buy the Bugatti.